Hi, everybody, and welcome into another episode of the PHNX Suns podcast. I'm Lindsay Smith. That's Gerald Bourget. That's Saul Bookman, and that's Espo. And yes, you may have noticed that Gerald and Saul did swap seats for today's show only because of some shenanigans we have prepared for you later on in the program.
I thought it felt weird.
It does feel weird, right?
It's a little different.
Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't call you Saul because I've never had to swap your two names before.
The seat's butt imprint is much smaller than the one I was in.
I now have a newfound respect for what you have to go through on the show. So.
Oh, thanks, Espo.
Damn.
Well, guys.
I bag on myself. I don't need you to do it. You have a newfound. You should be saying the same thing about me because I have to sit next to her.
Excuse me.
I just meant there's this gravitational pull, this magnetism that makes it difficult to have to talk.
Remember this, Gerald, when we start to do our expansion.
I know. The shots are flying. I didn't even say shit.
I feel like things are going to get spicy right here.
I didn't say anything either. I just caught a stray.
Yeah, that's tough.
I was just chilling over here doing nothing. Congratulations are in order. Unfortunately, we do have to give flowers to our friends over at DNVR.
I can't help it. Boo!
He said I can't control it.
I can't.
No, but for real, though, congratulations to the friends over at DNVR and the Denver Nuggets for winning the 2023 NBA championship. I don't know about you guys, but last night when I was watching everything, it was equal parts like funny stuff because obviously Jokic, the memes and the tweets and the jokes that came out about it were fantastic. But then on the flip side, it was like, can I just have one? Like just one day sometime in the near future, please?
I mean, it was bittersweet because on the one hand, you're thinking, man, if maybe things might have been different if Chris hadn't gotten hurt or if DA hadn't been hurt for Game 6. And on the other hand, it's cool to watch an organization and a fan base win a title for the first time. But it definitely kind of rubs it in like, man, it would be cool if we got to witness our fans celebrating like that. And I know like watching the fans go crazy at the DNVR bar, there had to be a little bit of jealousy there for what they were experiencing.
Yeah, those are the two takeaways I have is A, watching them be able to celebrate and you trying to put yourself in that position in terms of if we ever got a chance to celebrate a championship, what that would feel like. I was 21 when the D-backs won the championship, but the D-backs weren't my like my team growing up. You know, it was a little different. It was so fast within 3 years. So the Suns or the Cardinals have always been the teams for me, and it's just like, oh, just so close. So, and then the other takeaway was obviously the DNVR bar. If you're not familiar with the DNVR bar, just go to DNVR Sports, DNVR_sports, and take a look. That's exactly what we were pitched in terms of what we hope to build here, and we're still working on that. And I hope that by the time the Suns hoist a championship, we do have a place like that to celebrate with fans because that was insane how many people were in there going crazy.
Right.
One thing, consider this a PSA. Any Suns fan that's sitting there going, yeah, but they only beat 7 and 8 seeds that weren't the Suns.
Yeah.
Knock it the hell off because we got so damn pissed off when everybody in 2021 was like, yeah, but look who's injured and you made it and it's fraudulent and all this crap. You skip step. No. Give them their due. They beat the teams that were in front of them. They beat the teams they had to, and they deserve every bit of praise that's coming to them for getting the job done. It's not their fault we didn't get the job done, and stop with that. It's a loser mentality on our part to crap on it when we didn't want it to happen to us. And second of all, 15th time that, like I said yesterday, that the Suns have lost to the eventual champion. They've been to the playoffs 32 times. 47% of the time they've lost to the eventual champion. I'm happy for Denver, but God, that hurts.
I'm not happy for Denver.
Okay, DNVR. I'm
DNVR,
happy for.
Yes. And, and honestly, I'm only happy for the DNVR Nuggets crew because DNVR's had champion. They just had one a year ago with the Avs.
Yeah.
They've won Super Bowls. They've won, like, they've been a successful city in terms of sports franchises. But the Nuggets crew, like, you know, when you get your first, I assume it feels like nothing else. I don't know. I've never experienced it.
Couldn't tell you.
But I will say one thing. It ain't a dynasty. You don't start the talk when you just win the first one. Show up year 2 and show us what it's like, and then we could talk about dynasty. That's I felt like coming out the gates with that strong, like Mike Malone did, and others. I'm like, pump the brakes, enjoy the one, right? Like I'm thinking I may be done with basketball in general when the Suns get one. I'm not gonna be thinking dynasty. Right?
You're like, I don't think I can handle any more than this.
Look, that may just be what I hang it up. Is the one.
Can I just say though, like, Jokic is perfect internet content.
Yeah.
Like,
God,
he
yes.
was built for internet content. The memes of him just standing in the locker room holding a beer, just like off in the corner. And then the meme of the party guy just off in the corner all by himself. The post-game interview on the sideline where he's like, we got the job done and now we can go home.
Right.
Well, then he gets the MVP trophy and seems fairly. He's like, yeah, okay. Then he leaves it on the table, right?
Yeah.
And when the whole ceremony's over, one of his teammates awkwardly picks it up and is looking around like, "Where's Yoke?"
Yeah.
Like, this guy does not care about the peripherals. Like,
No.
he cares about going out there, doing his job, doing it well, and being around his teammates. And the rest of it, he could give 0 Fs about it, you know?
Mhm. It's funny because a couple weeks ago, I think it was a couple weeks now, we got the tweet and delete from Kevin Durant, where he basically had said something along the lines of like, here we go. I don't think Jokic wants or cares to be a star. Go to work, go home, FaceTime his horses, and hop in the pool. And honestly, that's exactly what I think it is. I think he probably really loves the game of basketball. Obviously, I don't know that you can be as good as you are if you don't love it to some extent. But as far as the extras, the being in the limelight, the shoe deals, the endorsements, all the other things that come with being that good in this sport, he doesn't care about it whatsoever.
Can we put that tweet back up?
We just kind of skirted over the fact that this is a phenomenal Photoshop job by Emma. And I think that you want to say it? You want to talk about the most obvious piece of this?
What?
The fact that Jokic is literally eating a carrot in front of his horse.
It's a Gatorade bottle.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it looked like a carrot. I was like, how'd you find that photo? That's phenomenal.
Can we look at can you keep that up for a second? Look at the Kevin Durant tweet, right? He says, go to work, go home, FaceTime the horse, and hop in the pool. He did everything but go home, I'm thinking, after that championship last night.
That's fair.
I'm guessing he FaceTimed the horse.
We saw him hop in the pool.
And he did the work, and then we saw him hop in the pool with Jamal Murray. Like, Kevin Durant is a prophet, is what I'm saying.
But if the parade wasn't on Thursday, I bet you he would have been at home today.
Oh, well, I mean, he said as much in that post-game interview. Like, when's the championship
He
parade?
forgot about contractual obligations.
No, I gotta go.
He was like,
home.
I did my job. I'm going home. Yes? No? Okay.
Oh my goodness.
He's like, what do you mean I have to stay here till Thursday?
Gosh. There were just so many good internet moments that came from last night. So one more time, shout out to the Denver Nuggets. Congratulations to our friends over at DNVR Nuggets.
Guess what?
Happy for you.
Next season starts now. We're coming for you.
We also have one more congratulation to share. Some flowers to Monty Williams, who had his introductory press conference today with the Detroit Pistons. We also want to extend well wishes to him and his family, because within that, we did learn that throughout the playoffs, Monty and his family learned that his wife had breast cancer. It sounds as though from what was shared that they got good news. And so all is well, or on the way to being well. But we do want to send well wishes to him and his family for having to deal with all of that. Because even if it's good news, it still takes time to mend and heal.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, everybody here knows what my wife went through. And the last month has been difficult for me. And I wasn't going through trying to coach a playoff team, getting fired, having to find a new job. I can only imagine what that was like for Monty. So I feel for him from that perspective for sure.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that as much as we focus on the basketball side of things, because that's our job, we're evaluating the game and how players and coaches perform. There is an element to always be kind to people, because you never know what they are going through, even during the playoffs when we are fixated on the basketball at hand. Monty had said that he and his wife debated whether they wanted to publicly share this information, and decided that ultimately they did, so that they could, promote early detection, because that's important. And he said it may have saved his wife's life. So that's all positive. And the Pistons got a good one. If you were able to watch the press conference, it's very clear that he's a good hire for that job. He's going to be the same old Monty in that role, and it'll be fun to watch that young team grow together. So well wishes to him and his family as they start this next chapter, because he said in his part he'll always cherish his time in Phoenix. And it doesn't have to be this contentious thing when you get fired from a job. He'll always look back fondly on the people and experiences that he built here.
If there's ever anybody that could deal with, obstacles in life, it is definitely Monty Williams. And we've spoken about that at length before about, as a person, he's a stand-up man. He's a guy that truly cares about his family, and will do whatever he can for them. And so you can never knock that, and we only see him through one lens, obviously, because of TV and the access we have in basketball. But you're right. Being able to understand that, away from the game, there's things that they deal with just like we all deal with on a day-to-day basis. And sometimes it affects things and sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on who the individual is. And for Monty, I'm glad he got another chance somewhere else, and I hope he thrives.
Yep. And there's
just not
no
in the
good
finals against the Suns. Okay?
I wouldn't worry about that.
No good transition here, but we're going to take a pause in the programming so I can tell you about our friends over at BetMGM. If you have not signed up for the BetMGM app yet, make sure you download and sign up today and use that bonus code PHNX. There are a few different offers depending on where you live, but for our Arizona audience, you will get up to $100 in bonus bets on your first wager with BetMGM. Again, make sure you use that bonus code PHNX when you sign up. You can check out the show notes for full details. There are a ton of cool things going on the app, so make sure you check it out if you already signed up as well. And now you can listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Disclaimer, 21 plus to wager. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in Washington, D.C., Mississippi, Nevada, New York, and Ontario. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369, New York. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, Arizona. 1-800-522-4700, Kansas, Nevada. 1-800-327-5050, Massachusetts. 1-800-BETS-OFF, Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help, Michigan.
And of course, it's summertime, which means we've got baseball games. We've got lots of concerts coming to Phoenix. And if you are looking to snag tickets for the best price, you got to check out our friends over at Game Time. Game Time is the place for last-minute tickets with great deals. It's the fastest-growing ticketing app in the country for a good reason. You can snag tickets without the stress with Game Time. And right now, if you download the Game Time app, create an account, use code PHNX, you're going to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply, but again, create an account, redeem that code PHNX for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. You're going to see Yellow Card this summer.
I am.
You guys going to watch any fun concerts this summer?
Kelly Clarkson.
That's right. You can see that.
I thought you were totally making that up. Then I remembered you were
taking my wife
yes,
to.
I forgot. My bad.
I'm also. I think we're gonna go see Ben Folds when he comes to town. I'll get that on Game Time. Got tickets to Foo Fighters when they're coming in October.
This guy's living it up.
I know, man. Just
because Espo knows where to get good prices on tickets. That's why you can go to all of them when you get a good deal on them. All right, everybody.
Don't take a deep breath. It's everybody's favorite segment. Play it,
Train
Emma.
Machine Tuesday. Train Machine Tuesday. Train Machine Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes. We got the remix.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
Hell yeah. It is time for Trade Machine Tuesday. So Gerald put
Mhm.
out a very extensive Trade Machine Tuesday article today over at gophnx.com. If you, at the end of this episode, are like, no, Trade Machine Tuesday can't come to an end just yet. Well, we've got it in written format over there as well.
It never ends.
But here's the thing. Before we dive into our actual trades, I feel like there is a disclaimer / Chris Paul explanation money-wise that we need to kind of go into, because it got a little bit confusing for a hot minute there. And now that we're really in the off season officially, we need to go over the details.
Just say it like it is. Gerald ruined a bunch of my trades that I had.
I'm sorry.
today, so.
I'm very sorry.
Gerald,
a lot of-
was the wet blanket on the party.
A lot of work
today.
went into this podcast before 11 a.m. that got shot all the way down.
Just
It
like,
did.
no,
Sorry
you
about that.
cannot do that, sir.
Sorry about that.
Can
To
you
dash
explain
everyone's
why?
hope and dreams. Yeah. So there is a disclaimer in the article, but I know the intro paragraphs can be a little long, so people tend to skip over that stuff. But it is important in this case because
Me, Saul.
yes,
TLDR.
everyone.
I always go to the Reader's Digest version of
Right.
this. I just scroll
People,
up.
and I get it. They're long explainers. You can skim through what you want because there's 10 freaking trades in there. I was thorough on each one. Most people just skim and look at the screenshots and judge based on that.
We love picture books, Gerald.
Totally understand. I totally understand.
Jared's like, just crap on my
But-
livelihood. It's okay.
But for the sake of being thorough, there is a problem, not a problem, but another obstacle when it comes to trading Paul. And the biggest thing is that his $30.8 million salary is only guaranteed for 15.8. When it comes to trading players on non-guaranteed contracts, the outgoing salary still counts as, the incoming salary for that team still counts as the full $31 million, basically. But the outgoing salary for the Suns only counts for the guaranteed portion, so that $15.8 million. So that makes the math in aligning contracts a little bit difficult because you can only take on up to 125% of the salary that you're sending out in a trade if you're under that second luxury tax. If you're above it, it gets reduced to 110% and you have even less wiggle room to work with. So when it comes to trading Chris Paul, you have to take into account that the money that the team is receiving is $31 million, but the money that the Suns are sending out only counts for $16 million. So that's a big $15 million discrepancy that you have to kind of close that gap when you're doing these trades. So a lot of these trades, because they don't work as is, we're operating under the premise that these teams are either increasing his partially guaranteed amount, which you can technically do. If a team trading for Chris Paul wants to increase that amount to make the math work, they can. Or we're assuming that we're waiting until after the June 28th deadline when his contract becomes fully guaranteed, because then it does count as the 31 mil and you don't have to do this extra jumping through hoops to make the math work.
Or the Suns could pick up the option before sending him, right?
Option?
Or
Like they could guarantee the full contract before
contract.
June 28th and still trade him?
Yes. The problem with this scenario is it has to be a team that wants to play Chris
Yes.
Paul. So the teams, like, we'll get into some of these scenarios, and there are a couple in the article. There are teams that would want to trade for Chris Paul and then immediately waive and stretch him so that they can take that $15.8 million, split it up over 5 seasons, and only have like $3.2 million on their books. If you're trading for a fully guaranteed Chris Paul contract, suddenly that becomes, $6 million over 5 years, which is not terrible, but it's double what you were trying to get to.
Yeah, the only way you do that is, again, if somebody wants to keep Chris Paul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Okay. So now that we've done the disclaimer portion of today's programming, let's get into trade number 1.
All right.
And we're going to talk Suns and Magic here. The Suns will receive Markelle Fultz and Gary Harris. The Magic will receive Chris Paul and a 2026 first-round pick swap. So Fultz makes $17 million and Harris makes $13 million. Both are expiring contracts. And this is one of those situations where you're operating under the Magic keeping Chris Paul, and that is why the math's here?
Yes,
'Kay.
because they are not trying to waive and stretch him. And again, we're operating under the premise they're either doing this after June 28th when he's fully guaranteed, or they're increasing his guaranteed money to make that work. I don't know that the Magic do this. I think you have to throw in a first round pick swap to kind of entice them because they are a young team. Chris Paul has taken young teams to the playoffs. He's helped them improve. The Eastern Conference play-in would not be out of reach for this group, I don't think. But they are giving up a guy who was starting to kind of put it together for them. So I don't know.
I would do this trade in a second.
Yes.
However, comma, man, you are absolutely just sending Chris Paul to the abyss.
You are.
Man.
You're screwing him
Oh,
so
man.
bad.
Hey, thanks for your service. We're going to send you to fucking Orlando. Have fun at Disney World.
It was noted in the piece that I
Man.
don't feel good about this morally.
How do you balance the weight of that, of wanting to do right by Chris Paul, but also being stuck in this rock and a hard place that is where the Suns are at, money and cap wise, and just needing something to be done to make their team better?
Quite frankly, you can't care about Chris Paul's feelings. This is basketball. It's a business. You got to do what's best for you in the long run. And I get that, you want to be team or player friendly, but at some point in the situation they're in, they're backed in a corner. If you can make a move that's going to help you become or stay a championship contender, then you do it and let Orlando deal with his hurt feelings.
I agree with that under the premise that you have exhausted all other options to try and hook up Chris Paul and have informed him, hey, we tried to make a deal with LA. We tried to make a deal with all these other teams to not put you in this position. But at the end of the day, we got to do what's best for our franchise. And I think Chris Paul, to a certain degree, would understand that. But I also think Chris Paul, if he didn't want to go to Orlando, he'd just make one phone call to Orlando and say, listen, I'm not fucking playing for this fucking franchise at all.
That's another contingency for sure.
Also, nobody forced him to sign the contract he did. And with the guaranteed money like this was always going to be the fork in the road that came up after the first 2 years of this deal. So would I feel a little bit bad? Yes. But he also entered into the agreement full well knowing that this was likely the path that was going to come up eventually. So you're right. I mean, he could tank it just by making a call. But if I'm the Suns, I'm doing what's best for the organization.
And again, there's a good chance the Magic just aren't interested in this because as good as Chris Paul is, maybe they want to continue to let the young guys kind of learn and fail together. They did win 34 games last season with this young group as it was. Fultz had one of the best seasons of his career. He still can't shoot yet, but he's a good defender. He looks like a starting caliber player finally. And maybe they want to see how he does in a contract year. Gary Harris, another guy they could probably flip at the deadline on an expiring. So maybe Chris Paul in a first-round pick swap would intrigue them. Maybe it wouldn't. But we are just spitballing to try and find where Chris Paul's trade value is. And there aren't a ton of options, I'll be honest.
Do you have faith that Markelle Fultz can become a better shooter? I mean, it's slowly inching to that direction, very, very slowly, like snail.
I think that ship has probably sailed, but I do think if you're looking for a younger point guard, a guy who you could re-sign to a decent, maybe team-friendly deal and still chug along defense, like he'd be a good point of attack defender for this group. Decent playmaker, decent scorer. He would be okay. Like he's a step down from Chris Paul for sure, but he's obviously cheaper. He's younger, and he would still be serviceable under Vogel, I think.
That ship hasn't sailed. It has gone to the middle of the sea and it's sunk all the way to the fucking bottom.
It never floated in the first place.
He was good in college.
He was good his first year in college. He was good, and then he changed his shot for whatever reason. And everything just went to hell after that. And it was just one of the worst things that any organization, coach, instructor, any has done to a player. Like basically ruined his career to a certain degree. Now, he's still good enough to do all the things that you just mentioned outside of shoot the ball.
Right.
But what the Suns don't necessarily need is a facilitator to the nth degree. They got to have somebody that can actually score a little bit, especially from the perimeter. Because that's what they desperately missed last year.
If I want to do the ethical version of this, though, I send him to Brooklyn for Ben Simmons because you're getting the same can't shoot point guard who can play defense, but at least Ben Simmons is jacked now. So Chris would go to Brooklyn before he goes to Orlando.
I mean, he definitely would. And
at least he's got Mikal already there.
There was a Nets trade in the article for those who are interested, but it does not.
It does not.
Mikal coming back?
It does not.
Well, damn it, Gerald.
They're not that dumb. I'm sorry.
Listen, Trade Machine Tuesday is half reality, half dream world. I thought we had already established
We've
that.
got-
Not
we've
for
got Dream
me,
World
but
at
for
the
all of
end.
you, I'm happy for you that you can live in that reality.
If I have to lean into Trade Machine Tuesday, you have to lean into
Hey,
it.
hold on
as
a
well.
second. It is not
Yeah.
our fault that you
Yeah.
decided to
Thank
sing
you.
that one time.
That's exactly.
And it's lived on in infamy.
Yeah.
She
All
regrets
right?
that moment.
That is
so
not
much.
our fault.
It is your fault that you all decided collectively to clip it and make it a thing, though.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
been.
You could have just let it die that
No,
one time.
The chat started.
The people want what they want.
And
Yeah.
we are
Yeah,
under.
and the people want to live in a half reality, half dream world, Gerald.
Look, we are
So
under.
give the people what they want.
We are under strict guidelines from corporate that we have to make a thing,
Yes.
and we did that with this. So
Yeah, we did.
We need to have different like remixes, like a rock version or like a dubstep
Please
one.
don't.
Trade Machine Tuesday.
Metal. Like
Why don't you
Trade
clip
Machine.
that? Why
and then like a
can't we
heavy
like
metal
rotate?
breakdown right after that. That'd be kind of dope. Yeah.
Yes.
Respect the
Oh.
trade.
By
Oh
August,
my
it's just
goodness
death metal.
gracious!
That's
You know what
great.
else
What?
is a thing?
What's that?
Four Peaks in sports.
Oh, it is.
That's a good thing. We love mixing Four Peaks in sports because they go hand in hand. You can't watch a game without having a Four Peaks beer in your hand. At least you're not going to have as great of a time. And that's for sure. You should check out Four Peaks on social at Four Peaks Brew or at Four Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. Right now, as we've mentioned, they are doing a lot of cool things for teachers. Four Peaks for Teachers. This year, they're giving away 11 $1,000 cash grants, and one lucky teacher will win a Teacher's Lounge renovation provided by Four Peaks. If you want to nominate a teacher, go to fourpeaksforteachers.org. Make sure you get those nominations in before June 30th. And of course, as always, you do have to be 21 years or older to drink Four Peaks beer, and we ask that you drink responsibly. Also want to give a shout out to our friends over at Mountain Mike's Pizza who delivered us lunch today. It is always the best day ever when you walk into the office and you got Mountain Mike's Pizza in the break room.
Mhm.
It's just there waiting for you. And I've told you guys this before, but Mountain Mike's has fantastic ranch, which I always judge pizza places by their ranch. So
Yep.
you know Mountain Mike's is top tier. You can head over to mountainmikespizza.com, order their Mesa, Chandler, or Tucson locations to place your next order. And as a reminder, new diehards get $50 voucher upon signing up. So if you have not become a diehard, today is a great day to become a diehard because not only do you get that $50 voucher for Mountain Mike's Pizza, but you get a bunch of other really great stuff as well. Okay, more Trade Machine Tuesday. More trades, more Suns trades. Next up, we've got Suns receiving
that's a new verse.
Clint Capella, Bogdanovich, and John Collins.
You did it to
Emma, I will
yourself,
throw
Lindsay.
a shoe at you.
You did it to yourself.
The Hawks will receive
Can I see that again, please?
DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, and a 2026 first round pick swap. What say you? This is a hefty package.
That is a very hefty package. It's almost.
Don't go
I'm not
there.
doing it. Man, I do this.
Mhm.
I do this. I don't even blink twice. I do this.
Mhm.
That's all I have to say.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
I don't think the Hawks do this.
So this trade would be, and I did the math on this to make sure it works. That's why DA and Landry Shamet were included.
I mean, the best
If
part of this is
you-
clearly getting rid of.
Stop. For the Hawks. For the Hawks, what you're doing is you are taking DA, who is arguably the best player or at least prospect trade asset in the trade. Landry Shamet is a shooter who has zero guaranteed money beyond this upcoming season. And then with Chris, you're still going to waive and stretch him to get some salary cap relief. Now, they may have to waive a non-guaranteed salary or two to make sure there's enough room under that second luxury tax apron for this trade to work. But they could do that. They have like 4 guys that have non-guaranteed contracts that aren't like contributors. And you get salary cap relief. You get to waive him at that like $3.2 million per year price. And let's be honest, like the Hawks are a really expensive team that is very aggressively average. They're not even a legit playoff team after that conference finals run a few years ago. They need to shake things up a little bit. Whether they would be willing to include Bogdanovich, that's where I might draw the line. But I feel like Capella, fully expendable for a younger guy. And John Collins, they've been trying to get rid of him and his contract for a while now. So this doubles as some salary cap relief beyond, because Capella has 2 years on his deal. Bogdanovich has 3, I think. 4 with the team option. And then
John Collins has 3.
John Collins has 3 at like 25 mil. John
Yeah.
Collins at 25 mil is a lot, but you're getting a rim protector, the elite kind of shot blocker that Vogel's used to working with. You get Collins and hope that his 3-point shot and rim rolling is good enough for this group. And you get Bogdanovich, who's another ball handler, scorer, guy who can shoot, guy who can make clutch shots. Like, we look at the playoffs and we see these different guys like Bruce Brown or Caleb Martin kind of stepping up and handling these roles. Bogdanovich is a guy that can definitely do that as kind of a combo guard.
This takes you from, a top 5 team in the NBA to the very best team in the NBA in one trade, without a doubt.
I do love that aggressively average moniker. That's the way many describe my career. But look, the only way I think this is plausible is if the Hawks are committed to going, look, this ain't working around Trae Young. We need to blow it up and try to rework how this is. And you assume Trae Young and DeAndre Ayton and potentially DeJounte Murray, if he's in their plans, or whoever they flip him for, is enough to break you out of that average. Maybe the Hawks are at that point. I don't know. And to Saul's point, this makes you deep in terms of your roster for the Suns. It solves a lot of problems, and the Suns front office finally gets to prove out, hey, we can put anybody at $15 million at the center spot, and it's going to work just as well. So, yeah.
Does the amount of, so Gerald, because we were bringing up how many years and at what dollar amount are left on all 3 of these players' contracts, does that concern anybody?
It does.
Because it's a commitment to all 3, essentially, like a long-term-ish commitment.
The Collins one concerns me the most, honestly, because Capella around $20 million a season, that's solid value. That's what you're going to hope for a shot-blocking starting caliber center. Bogdanovich is great value. He's only at like 16, 17 mil. And I think his contract declines by the year, so it gets better as it goes along. Collins is the one that, like, you're overpaying for him and you hope that he can be a starting caliber piece. If not, you're going to have to try and do what Atlanta's been trying to do for years and find some team to take him on and get 1 or 2 role players in return. But I do think turning, Chris Paul and DA's $60 million combined into 3 solid contributors who can log minutes for you in the playoffs is a win. And that's probably, I don't think that's the best. Maybe it might be the best you can do if in a trade involving both of them.
Yeah, I think that would be the best you can do. One thing I just thought of that could hinder it, though, DA has that no trade clause till July 14th, and you have to trade and cut CP3 by June 28th. So that could complicate things. I wonder if, I don't know,
unless DA wanted to go.
I mean, yeah, DA would have to want to go.
Right.
I mean, if he didn't, that could complicate all.
That's a good point. He would have to waive that because he does have trade veto powers until July 14th or 15th, I think. So, and for this to happen before his CP3's contract gets guaranteed, it would rely on DA. So you would have to hope that what he said about still wanting to be in Phoenix was just saving face publicly, and that he really would be okay with a change of scenery.
That's when Trae Young calls and says, "Hey, DA, come to town.
On.
Let me get you some lemon pepper Lou wings right here.
There you go.
Got you."
All right. Next up, we've got the Suns receiving Marvin Bagley and the Pistons receiving Landry Shamet.
Done and done,
Let's
son.
do it.
Let's go.
Reunite Monty
This is
with
the
his
best trade we've
favorite
ever
son-in-law.
proposed right here.
Can y'all tell this was not my trade?
Oh
How
my
excited they are
gosh.
about it.
There is one thing that
Let us live in our dream world, Gerald.
there's one thing that I think needs to be added.
What's that?
Number 5. I mean, that's good value for Monty. You trade the number 5 pick and Marvin Bagley. You get Landry. I mean, all your dreams come true at that
I'm surprised he wouldn't throw in the number 5 because that's how much he wants Landry back.
Oh, boy.
Look, honestly, though,
Baby, come back.
You can blame it all
Don't-
on me.
don't blame it on my auntie.
There you go. That's better.
Anyways, actually, I don't mind this deal in reality, though. Shamet, you kind of know what you got. Marvin Bagley could be a guy that could come back to a place that he grew up in, and and be a part of adding some depth here. It's one of those, both teams are trading a guy that maybe has kind of worn out his welcome or just isn't the right fit anymore. And you take a chance, you know.
I mean, yeah, Marvin Bagley's had a unique career in the fact that he hasn't lived up to expectations. But you're trading him on the hopes that as a power forward, he will be able to coexist with DA. They have a good relationship, DA and Marvin. They used to play together here in Arizona. So you hope maybe that would spark those guys again with each other. And I mean, you're trading for somebody that shot 37% from the field and 37% from three. And you're moving him on to Detroit. Maybe a new change of scenery will get them another second round exit, because that's what Landry Shamet's all about, is second round exits. So I think it's a win-win for both teams. Why not?
Yeah.
And let's be honest, the Pistons would love a second round exit, would they not?
Yes, they would.
That'd be super exciting for them.
And Landry guarantees you a second round exit.
And you can have both the guys that got drafted before Luka on your team.
Oh, man. I don't know if I want that.
Triple B said, how many teams has Bagley been on? Isn't this just his
This is
second?
the second
Yeah,
team,
I went from the Kings to the Pistons.
Yeah.
So this, if he got moved to the Suns, that would be his third team. I don't know. I think it's a gamble that you could take for a Landry Shamet trade, because you know what you're going to get with Landry Shamet. So if you don't like what you've received so far, it's a gamble that I think is worth taking.
Yeah. I mean, he's still only 24.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some upside. His contract's not terrible. It's not the problem is, like, beyond next season, it's another $12.5 million, which again is not a huge amount, but it is fully guaranteed as opposed to Landry's, whose is not. So I don't know.
Yeah, but you can sell somebody else on his potential next season if he doesn't work out.
As an expiring, you probably
Yeah.
can.
Oh,
Look, he's
yeah.
only 25.
Expiring
You
part
know
of
you
it.
want him. He's
Like how the chat right away was all like, done,
Yes.
deal.
It's because we have enough curses. We don't need to add any more to our plate. Okay,
Oh,
we're full. Gerald, I think you should read Jay's comment in the chat.
What's that?
Mhm.
It's a win-win, but is it a win-win-win? God bless.
Gotcha.
Oh, you got
Speaking
me.
of comments, we do have a super chat as well from Trevor. Thank you, Trevor, for your super chat. Said, GG's to Denver, but not gonna lie, it makes you feel sad. Hope one day I can feel what those fans are feeling when the Suns win their first chip.
Yeah.
Samesies.
Yep.
I had a lifelong friend. I've known him since I was 5, and we've been Suns fans since around then.
Mm.
And I texted him, man, I wish this was us. He goes, just get over it. It's never happening. And I'm like, I got, if as long as I don't do anything too stupid, I got at least another 40 years here, right? I'm at the halfway point. You can't tell me, another 40 years I'm going to do this and, be there. That'd be pushing 100 years of Suns basketball.
I mean,
Tempted the basketball gods, didn't he?
I mean,
Just called him out directly.
You did.
Just say, please.
Bro, at some point we might have to trade Espo in order to get a championship.
I will sell my soul to the basketball gods if they can get them from Satan.
It's not worth much anymore, Espo.
It's
You've
really
literally
not.
given it to everybody
Yeah.
and
you're kind
all
of a soul whore.
You a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
It's true.
not gonna lie.
You're just giving it to everybody.
We have to attach some cash considerations or a few pick swaps in there to get them to buy into this. I don't know. Espo. I'm just
My
saying.
soul is like the town bicycle. Everybody gets around.
Oh my God.
My soul is like breadsticks at Olive Garden. Everybody gets a piece.
I cannot.
You have any more?
I'm sure I can.
Emma's face is so great right now. She's so shook.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Landed done. Espo for cash considerations. Hey, cash considerations is the Ring of Honor. I'll take it.
Oh my goodness gracious. All right. Well, that's our Trade Machine Tuesday shenanigans for the day. Of course, as I mentioned off the top, there are more over at gophnx.com. Gerald put together an extensive article. Somebody in the chat was mentioning the Celtics one that you put in there. So there's quite a few. So if that was not enough Trade Machine for you, head on over to gophnx.com. We put the link in the chat as well. But after the show, because we still have more fun stuff in store for you. Coming up next, we are going to explain why Gerald and Saul are sitting in the wrong seats today. But first, if you don't want to ride a bike around this summer and you would rather drive because there's air conditioning in your car,
Is that a knock
you
on my soul
can
again?
get the best gas from our friends over at Circle K. You can also stock up on all the best goodies, whether it's iced coffee, 12 packs of beer, Red Bull, Monster, Polar Pops, you name it. Circle K has you covered. Make sure you're not missing out on all this great stuff. Plus, right now, we got a coupon for you. Text PHNX to 31310 to join their SMS subscriber club, and you'll get a buy one, get one free offer on 32-ounce Polar Pops. Head to circlek.com/store-locator to find Circle K's near you.
Lindsay, you know how my soul's like Circle K? They're gas. You can pump it and dump it. Anyways, continue.
Oh my God.
That was aggressive.
So much worse than I thought it would be.
That was aggressive.
I have no words. That was-
Does OG's make it
You know, my soul
forget the last
servicing
30
hundreds of
seconds
customers a
your
day.
life? Does OG's make a gummy that's like you want to forget the last 30 seconds of your life?
Man, if you take enough of them,
I
yes.
need one of those right now.
Man.
Dear God.
Lindsay, you know how my soul's like
No,
an OG's?
no,
It's a mixed
no.
bag, baby.
Well, to be fair, OG's does have mixed bags, but we're talking about flavors. They've got the fruit flavors. They've got the cream flavors in the mixed bag, which is pretty cool. They also have the sleep edition, which specifically helps with rest and relaxation. They have the Happy Balance gummy that is in the strawberries and cream flavor, and dropping on June 21st, the pink lemonade flavor. So check out OG's online at ogsbrands.com and on Instagram at ogsbrands. You can also find their products at your local dispensary, but you must be 21 years or older to purchase. Okay, here we go. We're going to do an expansion draft.
Let's go.
Because there has been a lot of chatter, of course, about the NBA potentially expanding sometime in the very near future.
Mhm.
And we split up into teams. Shocker. It's Gerald and I against Saul and Espo.
Oh
Hence
my
the seat
gosh,
change.
no way we could have predicted that team.
Lindsay, do you know how my soul's like an expansion draft?
Nope, don't want to
Just
know.
like part of it unprotected and everybody else takes it. So
Hi, babe. So, Gerald, I'm going to let you explain exactly how this goes because you may not love this because we are co-GMs, but I'm still a little confused. I'm just
Okay.
kidding. I'm not.
I was going to say,
consider
how
yourself
by now?
lucky.
Because you're
I'm just
getting
kidding, I'm
demoted
just
to
kidding.
assistant GM. If that's what we're doing here. So what we did is in an expansion draft, each team gets to protect a certain number of players. We decided on 8 players per team. So in this scenario where the NBA is welcoming 2 new teams, Lindsay and I are the co-GMs of one. Saul and
Let's
Espo
go.
are the co-GMs of another. We have to pick from the remaining pool of players that are not protected. I went through all 30 teams, protected the 8 players that I thought would make the most sense for them to protect. And we are now left with a hodgepodge of role players to start our franchises with. We're going to do a typical snake draft. They get the number 1 pick. Then we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5.
Are we
etc.
announcing our cities though? I
Yeah,
never
we
know.
gotta
Yes,
announce
yes.
Wait,
we are.
who starts?
We do.
Yeah, we can start.
Well, but are we ready to announce our cities or are we announcing them at the end? Do we want to do it now?
No, we can do
No,
it
I
now.
think
We
you
gotta
do
start.
now.
Yeah,
let's
All
do
right,
it
go
now.
ahead.
So we are.
The Kansas City Barbecue, baby.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Yep, you can cue it up. Do we have the logo? Do we have a logo? No.
Is your
No
logo a chicken?
Oh, we'll have our logo
Oh.
at the end.
Okay.
We'll unveil our logo at the end. I actually think you could also call them the B-ball Q as well. You know, a little.
Say,
Yeah.
start over. I was ignoring you guys. The
They are-
Kansas City what?
Barbecue.
Okay, and you're gonna call them the what?
You could call them the B-ball Q.
Yeah, or you can call them the Q.
Or the
Like
Q.
if we had a City Connect jersey, it would
Oh,
just
it's
be
just
Q.
Q.
Okay.
Yep, I'm down on this. You're gonna love.
We have
the
a
logo,
fire ass
too.
graphic too.
The
Okay.
I
Kansas
wish we could show
City
you guys, but-
Barbecue.
Yeah.
Okay. We're
Okay.
calling them the
And
B-ball.
when you
Q.
lose big, you got smoked.
Yep, you got smoked, baby.
Mm.
You get taken in the post, barbecue chicken.
Wow, look at you guys.
Yeah.
So
so
many
many
dad
different
jokes
levels.
already. Your Twitter's gonna be on fire.
Yeah, we're just the Seattle Supersonics. We're not
Did you do that on
excited.
purpose? Jesus Christ.
I was trying to move past it. You owe me a laugh at my next terrible joke. I'm upset with you right now.
So you mean just at your next joke? All right.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Sorry, Gerald. Who are we?
We're just the Seattle Supersonics. We kept it simple. If you're opening an expansion team,
We're
one of
going
them
old-
has to be
we're
the
going old
Sonics.
school.
Just has to.
Yeah.
Are we the first pick?
We are the first.
You
pick.
guys are the first pick.
Okay.
So you
How
have
did we
the first.
determine that?
All right. With
Did
the
you lose
first
at rock,
pick
paper,
in the
scissors?
2023 NBA expansion draft, the Kansas City Barbecue select Kelly Oubre Jr.
Wow,
Yeah,
yeah, buddy.
Kelly
And we
Oubre.
only did that because we knew sweet baby Angel Lindsay was going to take his ass.
And we wanted the best looking expansion team in NBA history.
That is hilarious that after all the shit they've given Kelly Oubre for his contributions to the Suns, they're going to take him number 1 in the draft.
I didn't draft him because he's going to start the barbecue boys in KC or anything. You know?
Okay, I see how it is.
And also, Kelly Oubre. Listen, we're a franchise in Kansas City.
Mm.
Where did Kelly Oubre play basketball at? Kansas.
Yeah.
Listen, it all comes full circle. We gotta get the
fans.
community into it. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Get the fans involved. Okay.
We got to get the ladies of Kansas City interested in basketball.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the thing. Gerald took this super seriously. No surprise there.
I just made
I-
3 tiers.
I took this remotely seriously in the sense that my big board is content based.
Yes.
We're gonna have the most entertaining team that's ever been
That's
in
not what we're
existence.
doing.
0-82.
I just want to warn you now.
So who would you like to take?
I think we take the
Gerald?
top 2 guys in tier 1 there.
That's
Are
fine.
we good with those?
They're not content guys, but yeah, we can take
They're
them.
not content
You
guys.
can have them though.
Well,
But I
thank
will
you.
fight you for at least one content guy
Okay, I can live
on
with
this
that.
team.
They already took one of our
They
content
did.
guys.
Kelly was
Yeah.
on there.
Okay.
He's bringing the horse, too.
So with the second pick, we're taking the best available player in this entire draft, Jonas Valanciunas.
Heyo.
And then
If this were 1999.
Jonas is the best player in this
No,
board.
he's not.
No,
Kelly.
he's not.
Yeah,
We
he is.
already took the best player.
You did not. And then we're gonna take TJ McConnell as our starting point guard. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay then.
Are we even gonna have similar picks?
Probably
At this
not.
point, it doesn't feel like
It
we
doesn't
are.
feel like
First
it.
of all, there's going to be some fighting in this locker room. I just want to let you guys all know
Oh,
that. now.
God.
In
Who you
y'all's locker
drafting?
room
Oh,
or
yeah.
ours?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yours?
But
Oh,
we're
yeah.
all right with
Exciting.
that.
But we're
so
cool
you
with
will
that.
have content.
We will
Drama
have
sells.
The good type of
we will have a team that will fight
Okay.
and fight each other.
Okay.
Our next pick, the second overall pick for the Kansas City Barbecue, will be Dylan Brooks.
Oh,
my
See,
God.
low key, I did
I-
want him on this team, though,
So we're
Gerald.
gonna-
I'm not gonna lie.
Did you?
I did.
Mm.
I would have if he was available
would-
for our last pick. I would have.
I would rather someone who shot better than like 38% from the field, but that's just me.
Oh wait, just you
Just
wait.
you
just
wait.
If that was not enough drama,
Oh my God.
with our third pick,
Uh-huh.
we are taking Ben Simmons.
Oh,
my
see-
God,
see,
they're taking
okay.
the draft
Gerald
it-
did have Ben Simmons on his big board.
with a giant question mark
I
next
was
to it.
getting there.
This is all about upside, baby.
There was a giant question mark next to Ben Simmons and Dylan Brooks. And I
Oh.
said, we can remove the question mark from Dylan Brooks, but we got to keep it there for Ben Simmons.
And I think that's fair.
So we would not have selected him.
I think
Oh,
Landon
man.
just described this the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This is the most entertaining, stupid idea ever,
Landon gets us.
Yeah.
which is what I said the day
Wes.
after our first episode.
Oh man,
I love that for us. Thank you, Landon.
that's great.
Well, okay, are we going to
Okay,
do
let
we
me
really go down this line for real or do we
let me take
do
a
we-
look at your content team.
do we
again.
do a content pick here?
Um,
There's
Gerald-
some decent ones in the content team.
yeah, I would be good with either one of these two.
I'm good with both of those.
Okay.
I'm good with both of those. You pick. As long as it's from my content
This
team.
is so high. Can we wait a pick?
Fine.
Well, wait
We
a
can
pick.
pick
I
them
wanna-
fourth.
Okay.
Oh, you know we're gonna get him.
No, we're not.
You
Keep
better
your eyes
not.
on your own paper. So,
We,
I'm gonna be
we
so
don't
mad.
need your big
Well,
board.
I didn't even see your big board.
which one of these two do you like?
We got more scouts than the Suns at
Okay,
this point.
I like
We
him
were-
too.
We're ready. Let's go.
No,
No, I
not
thought
really.
he got hurt a lot.
We
the
got
last
we
couple
got two
seasons.
picks
He
lined
had-
up. Can you guys hurry
Yeah.
this up?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's
Yeah.
injured.
Just hop
Yeah,
in
so
and
let's
make
take
our
the second
picks.
one.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna go with Josh Richardson for our third pick, another great 3-and-D wing, and then we are going to do let's-
Content, content,
Yes, yes, we're
content,
doing it.
content.
Which one do you want?
I'm good with
You make
both.
the pick. You make the pick.
Oh man, that's a tough one, Gerald.
Do it. Pick the most boring content guy you can find.
I mean, these two are more of the boring
Yeah.
content
so
guys.
it's what, Dario? Is that where you're going with?
No.
Let's go Robin Lopez.
Oh, she probably
Robin
is going
Lopez
Robin
is not a boring content.
So who's your
pick.
pick?
God, you guys are such jerks. I'm gonna go Kevin Love.
All right, let's do it.
Old
My
man
God,
River.
did you watch the final?
walking
He was
down
good.
the stream? Okay.
Also,
our
Kevin
next
Love has a very legitimate cult following.
rounding out our starting five.
Thank you very much.
Rounding out our starting five with the next two picks.
Mhm.
We're actually going to make a smart pick, and we're going to go with
Shocker.
a Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes.
That's a
flexible.
smart pick?
Yes.
That's a terrible
Jackson
pick.
Hayes, young upside, huge upside.
Terrible.
And then we're going to round out this awful locker room
oh my God.
with Jay Crowder.
Oh,
Okay. That was the other content guy we
that
were
was
debating.
the other content guy we were debating between.
We took
Jay
two
Crowder or
guys
Kevin
that
Love.
I've just hated on this show.
I know.
Because we're all about making that money in Kansas City, baby.
But
Oh,
I was
man.
concerned. I also kind of wanted to leave Jay Crowder because y'all were talking about how you're going to make the worst team for locker room vibes. And I felt like you would add Jay Crowder to that mix. So I feel like your team is so dysfunctional or can potential for dysfunction.
Have we told you who our head coach
that is
is
going to be a
Oh,
friggin'
God.
mess.
Who?
Doc Rivers.
I
is
thought we were
going to
gonna-
coach the Kansas City barbecue.
I
Oh,
thought we were
man.
going to go with Mark
Fire up,
Jackson.
baby. We're ready to go.
Even-
No Mark Jackson?
No.
Even- oh, that'd be even worse.
All right.
We're going to put these
Who we
teams in
going with?
2K
I
and
think we
play
need
each
another
other.
tier 1 guy.
Yeah, we probably need another tier 1 guy.
I still eliminate the one that we eliminated the last time.
I like him or
Tier
him.
1
I go
guy.
with the first one.
Like they have
Okay.
a real
Yeah.
tier 1 here.
All right, we're gonna
See who they
go
picked.
with for our first pick. We're gonna go with Gary Payton II.
Ooh, nice.
Add some
Yeah.
defense there,
He was
Mhm.
going to be in our next.
and
Right.
then do we want to do another tier 1 guy? Because right now we got a point guard, a shooting guard, a small forward, and a center.
We're pretty well rounded.
So we could use. Oh wait, we got Kevin Love as well. So
Mhm.
we have all 5 of our starting 5
We're
filled out.
pretty
So we can
well-rounded.
do any position that we want.
I think he was.
How
We could
many
do a
do
we
get to
could do a
pick?
content guy.
You
for
know
a
which
backup center.
content guy I want. But I think we could get him 8.
Rolo.
No,
Oh.
And then
This
the
one.
last one has got to be this guy.
hold on.
Yeah, can I announce the second?
Mhm.
Okay.
The guy,
Mm.
this guy. Hold on.
Okay.
Come on, you
We're-
know the
we're-
one I said I was
this
going to
one?
fight you
Yeah.
for.
Oh, okay. That can
I
that
think
be
we
our
could
that's
get
our
him
last
8.
pick.
I think we
Our
could,
last pick.
for
Okay.
sure. So we'll
So-
save that content for that one. Unless you want to go this content guy.
You
then
really
I'm
could
totally
talk
down.
about this out loud
Okay.
because we can't steal anything.
And this is
How do you figure you can't
This is
steal
terrible
anything?
for audio.
this is truly just
Alright,
thrilling.
we're gonna do-
Now, how about that one? They're just
what are they
pointing at a
talking
computer
about?
If we're doing a content guy, I would pick this content.
I mean, I love that we
Okay,
came in
but I don't know if
prepared.
he's
You and
going
I
to
are
be
the
beneficial
ready
to
to
our
go.
team.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
All right.
Well, in your
let's
tier
say,
1.
let's
2,
save
and
him
3.
though. We're gonna do
later.
Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder, backup point guard.
Okay.
New Sun starting point guard this year. That's my prediction.
But it's possible.
You
It's
laugh.
not out of the realm of
You
possibility.
laughed, and I'm like, bro, you better be ready for that.
Shit.
Yeah.
you guys
So
are
yeah,
up.
those are our back
Okay.
picks.
That's a 2, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
we
You
did
mentioned-
Schroeder and we did who did we do before that? Gary Payton?
Yeah.
Oh, Gary Payton.
Okay.
That's right.
Mhm.
What is this? Our 6th and 7th
Yes,
picks?
yes.
Our 6th pick will be Suns legend, Dante DiVincenzo.
Okay, that's not a bad pick.
Got to
Fuck.
get the Italians on the
He was
roster.
on our
wait.
big board.
It gets better.
It gets much
Oh
better.
boy.
We're going back to Kaminsky Cove.
Oh,
Frank
let's go,
Kaminsky.
Frankie.
You are part of the
Frank,
Kansas City
let's go,
barbecue.
Frankie.
Frank
Bring me
was
the
on my
content.
content team.
Yeah.
Frank was on my content team. He was. All right. So are these our final 2 picks?
These are our final 2 picks.
Are we going full content?
Okay, we could do Rolo or we could do Boban. So
At
which
least
one would you
Rolo
prefer?
can actually play.
That'll be our that's the problem.
But I love Boban.
I know you do, but let's leave him in his John Wick universe and stick with Rolo. I think that's the way to go.
Make Boban your mascot.
Fine.
Okay,
Fine.
we're gonna
But Boban gets hired in the front office.
all right.
We're
so,
going to pay him a boatload of money.
So
Make him
we
your
can hang out.
broadcaster.
that's fair. We can do that.
Okay,
So we're gonna
deal.
take Gary Harris, and then we're gonna take with our final pick Robin Lopez.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do we
Thank
have
you.
one
All right.
more? Or
Yeah,
is
this is our last one.
Mhm.
So with our last pick, you listen, Victor Wembanyama's coming into the league, and listen, if we're not going to do anything else, we're going to stop that guy.
Okay.
And the only guy that exists right now that's a
Okay.
young up and coming guy, real strong, real thicky kind of guy.
We're drafting
is
me.
Kenneth Lofton Jr.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right.
Little development project, but that's okay.
Okay.
Also, he could hold his own in that locker room and beat anybody's ass. So We're gonna have a feisty team, and
You are
you're
gonna
right.
have a feisty
we are
team.
definitely the modern version of the bad boys because we're gonna have a lot of
You are
fisticuffs
something about
going
that.
on.
Son
That's for
of
sure.
U of A legend as
Kenneth
well.
Lofton,
So.
yeah, that's right.
There we go.
Thank you, Frank, with the 199 super chat says, quote, "I'm glad to be part of the Kansas City BBQ."
Try cue it up, baby.
Welcome
Let's
in,
go.
Frank.
We're gonna have to
Welcome
carve
in.
out Kaminsky Cove somewhere in Kansas City.
Hey, look, whatever needs to be done. We got big bucks. We're here to win, and we're
you
here to
got all
make
the
it
money.
fun.
You got Ishbia money?
Oh, I got more than Ishbia money.
Wow.
We sold PHNX, even
They
though
got
we
you
didn't
that
have the
much
rights to.
Actually, what happened is we made so much money off of Michaela's tweet about Patrick Mahomes.
Oh,
But now we can fund the whole team.
Actually, Michaela owns Kansas
Yeah.
City, so we just
That's
put it
right.
on the cheap.
Michaela is actually our GM or our CEO. So
That was a little
we're good.
throwback
We're good
social
to go.
media joke, if you
Man.
know, you know.
So can
Dominate him.
All right.
Well, let's take a
Let's
look.
recap what we got here.
Yeah, so we as the Sonics have Jonas Valanciunas, TJ McConnell, Josh Richardson, Kevin Love, Gary Payton II, Dennis Schroeder, Gary Harris, and Robin Lopez.
And the Kansas City Q, you gotta love that logo. Look at that.
Look, that's just brilliant.
Little ribs on the grill. Let's go.
Yeah.
Kelly Oubre Jr., Dylan Brooks, Ben Simmons, Jackson Hayes, Jay Crowder, Dante DiVincenzo, Frank Kaminsky, and Kenneth Lofton Jr.
All right. I would love to see these teams play once and then never again.
You know, honestly,
For one time only.
what I will do today, I will actually put those guys on a team, and I will simulate it on NBA 2K.
Sean,
Okay,
Sean
nice.
the graphic mind behind our logo, said he could actually do uniforms and put the logos in the game
Let's
too.
go.
We can get all.
Y'all are
we can
so
go-
extra.
There we go.
run a highlight package on the show at some
Hell yeah,
point. Look
let's
at
go.
that.
Jay said we should open up a barbecue restaurant. Should that be the name of the bar?
Barbecue restaurant?
No.
That was my question.
I was like,
No,
What do you mean?
the what did you call them? The BBQ ballers or something?
B-ball cues.
B-ball cues. Why don't we
Why don't
open
we
up
just
a
call
restaurant
it
and name
the
it that?
PHNX bar?
Because the B-ball
I'm
cues
so
is
confused.
funnier.
I was just confused. I was like, wait, what?
I want more fun in our
Should
lives.
we call
The
this-
B-ball cues
Kayla in
would
the
be hilarious.
Owner of the KC Chiefs checking in right now.
All right.
was
Well,
fun.
Emma, while
was
we
fun.
read some super chats, you should put a poll in the chat real quick, and you guys let us know if you are Team Barbecue or Team Supersonics.
Mhm.
And while we do that, we do have a couple super chats. So, Espo, you read Frank's. Frank, thank you for your super chat. We appreciate you. Manuel, thank you for your super chat. We appreciate you as well. Said, LOL, love you, breadsticks.
Mm.
I think that was for
Because
you,
everybody gets a
Espo.
taste.
And then on from Pre-Rush,
Peace.
$2. Thank you. We appreciate you. Said, only if DA, oh, hold on.
That would be weird.
Only if DA played above the rim. Dynasty. All
Mm.
caps.
That's the most like common word after anyone wins a title now. Are they the
Dynasty.
next dynasty?
Yeah, no.
I love how the whole national media was like, "Oh, the Nuggets are not good," and now they're like, "Can they be the next dynasty?"
Right.
You'll fall on your head in the last week and a
The
half.
switch
like,
flipping is quick.
yeah.
Hello in the chat said Lindsay, quote, I can't have fun with my team. Let me have fun with yours. I love my team. Where on earth did you get that idea from,
She doesn't like it.
sir and or ma'am?
How many content guys did you get on your team?
Two solid content guys.
You had a whole like 20 list.
That's 25%. That
Because
is generous.
I
generous.
am willing to collaborate with my co-GM. I'm willing to take a back seat for the greater good.
Also, Lindsay, more importantly, Lindsay wants to have fun, but most of
I
all,
do.
she wants to win.
Yeah, and you failed at both. We were in lockstep the whole time.
No, we
First
did
of all,
not.
Kevin Love's going to be out of the league
Our
this
team
year
would
because he's going to retire.
smoke your team.
No, they would
They
not.
absolutely
Well,
would.
we're
my
gonna
God.
find out. We're really gonna simulate
You,
this.
you guys want to look at Dylan Brooks and Ben Simmons numbers? You want to tell me Jackson Hayes
Hey,
got benched on the
listen,
Pelicans is good? Come
Don't
on.
be blinded by the stats.
Get
Those
outta
dudes
here.
can ball.
Let's
But
just,
can they both together?
look at this.
I
Screw
didn't say anything
analytics
about
is
that.
our mindset.
It's not
here.
analytics. It's just field goal percentage.
Well, see,
That's it.
No, you know what? You should believe in analytics. Have you seen the per 36? I haven't,
Yeah, it's
but
not great.
I assume it can't be that bad.
All right, we have one more super chat to get to. This one's from Leo. Leo, thank you for your super chat as well. Said, would you trade Jordan Poole and Kevon Looney? What do you think, Saul?
Damn, that thing stuck, didn't it?
I love
not
that.
really. I would
make it a
not.
thing.
I don't know if Jordan Poole's. First of all, Jordan Poole's
Sorry,
not
would
worth
you
that
trade
kind of money.
for? My bad.
No, Jordan Poole's not worth that kind of money in my opinion. So I would be out on that. Kevon Looney, 1,000,000%. Love Kevon Looney. I think he'd be a great asset for what the Suns are trying to do. But Jordan Poole, not so much.
Yeah, he was. He makes a ton of money, man.
Yeah, he does.
Like he could just use a change of scenery, and it could be like the perfect buy low opportunity for a guy who's making that much. But he sucked in the playoffs.
I'd rather have
He was
Jordan
rough.
Peele.
Stop.
I mean, he would be pretty
Le-
cool.
At least
I
the
love Jordan
content's
Peele.
good.
Content would be great.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for Jordan Poole though, because I feel like there was a lot of shenanigans behind the scenes.
Oh, you mean like getting
Um,
knocked out by
That's
your
not
teammate?
shenanigans. That's just straight getting punched.
It's called assault, Lindsay.
I meant-
Shenanigans.
There was a little bit of tomfoolery.
What? What?
There was a bit of a kerfuffle, if you will.
I was trying to tiptoe around it, but okay.
Oh, you got
And
Dude
I
got
wasn't
jacked
specifically
Walk through
talking
the
about.
office and sock
I
somebody in the
wasn't
face like, I was up to
specifically
shenanigans.
just talking about that. I think
Yeah.
obviously it stemmed from that, but even if you quote unquote get your apology and kind of move past it, you're never going to fully move past that.
And you can't,
And I think that mentally it kind of messes you up a bit.
Oh, for
you
sure.
can't do it either because Draymond's signing for the mid-level exception. So you can't have Jordan and Draymond in Phoenix.
Stop it.
It's true.
Yes.
We have a puncher's chance to get him.
Stop it. You know what you're doing.
I,
You know what you've done, sir.
I'd throw down with the Warriors, to try to get him.
Nah, that one you reached.
I
Oh
didn't.
boy, you took it one too far.
I pulled
Espo.
one.
Yeah.
You tried. You
I
You
pulled my
should have
punch
stopped
on
while
that.
you were
Yeah,
ahead.
you're right.
Yeah. Should have stopped while you were ahead. Anyway, that's the end of our show. We did our job, and now we can go home.
I like how you
job,
I,
now we can.
I like how you put a period at the end of our sentence.
And now we can
We
go.
did our job.
Thank
I
you
met
for
my
watching.
quota.
This
I'm
has
mad
been a
at all
show.
of you who voted in the poll.
Oh, what's the poll looking
55%
for?
for Team Barbecue,
Woohoo!
44%
Let's
for
go!
Seattle Supersonics.
Try, baby. Cue it up.
It's like Book said, you can't talk hoops with everyone.
Oh, Gerald's trying to throw
throwing
shade at you guys.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
they
heard
can
me.
play in the Traeger Arena.
That's right.
They call
Wait.
it the smoker.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's where everybody gets cooked.
Yeah.
Mm.
Don't
You
let their
know-
folksy euphemisms distract from the
You
fact
know-
that
We
they
got the
drafted a
branding.
terrible team.
But here's the thing, Gerald. This is the problem with their shenanigans is that there is a very large portion of fans who will love that
Yes.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
And the rest of us are like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Hey, you come to the arena.
But there is it's like going to be a cult following of people who
Oh,
will
yeah.
literally eat that shit up.
Oh,
We got-
yeah.
We got
Pun
the
intended.
inflatable
I was just
chicken
gonna
wing
say.
mascot.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be great.
We'll have a whole section like the dog pound, except we'll have a barbecue related name to it. It'll be awesome. And then afterwards,
It's gonna
everybody can
be
get sauce
so
in
annoying.
multiple
Big
different
pen.
ways. There you go. There you go.
Lord
Fantastic
have mercy.
We could call the dancers the Saucy Crew.
Yeah.
Look at that.
The saucy.
All
crew.
right. Well, one more time. That's the end of our show. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you as always. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. with more shenanigans. So make sure you come by to hang out. Until then, you can follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_Suns. You can follow me at Lindsay Smith AZ. You can follow Gerald at Gerald Bourget. You can follow Saul at Saul_Bookman. And of course, you can follow Espo at Espo. Espo, take us home.
Hey, Lindsay, you know how my soul is like an expansion draft?
How, Espo?
I leave it unprotected and anybody can take it. Ahoy, hoy!
And he ain't never gonna let go. PHNX though, Lindsay, Gerald, Espo. Saw past the ball, we here to turn up the tempo. Got to understand me, I'll always rep the family. Rally in the valley like Dan G, no plan B. Always on the job, my team move like the